let's fall in love.
Think it over, girl. Come a little closer, girl.
Baby, let's fall.
I wanna fall in love. Think it over, girl. Come a little closer, girl. All of my life, I wonder where love could be. Yeah, baby. I like to spend my time in your company, you and me. Let's fall in love. Think it over, girl. Come a little closer, girl.
Babe, let's fall in love.
Think it over, girl. Yeah. Come a little closer, girl. Keep it right there. Whenever you're near, good feelings come over me. Over me, baby. Whenever you're near, good feelings come over me. Oh yeah, one more time.
Let's fall in love.
Let's fall in love. Think it over, girl. Come and play patty cake, yeah. I wanna eat it up, yeah.
Let me clap them cheeks, baby.
Cheeky cheeks.
Let's get cheeky cheeks.
This is a remix for the clappers.
Man, let y'all know this Raheem DeVaughn. He really sing, all right? Yeah.
Love.
He sings.
That boy sings.
There wasn't no out of tone in here.
Love.
No tone.
SiriusVybe. Got my brother Scooby, my brother Dirk. SiriusVybe. Hey. SiriusVybe Primetime.
What up? It's your boy Frank Sirius, a.k.a. Scooby, a.k.a. the Godson, man, right here with my partner in crime.
One name, Dirk, DC Vibe Holmes.
And together we are SiriusVybe Primetime.
We got a very, very special guest. Like, we try to highlight everything DMV here, man. And we got a legend. We got a national recording artist, Raheem DeVaughn.
Y'all give it up for Raheem. What up, Raheem, man? Welcome to the show.
What's going on? Thank y'all for having me, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can we go back to real quick to Radio Raw days?
Oh yeah, where you want to start?
I mean, like when I first got hip to you, you know, of course, it was the U Street days, the mixtape days.
Yeah.
Like, what was the innovation behind that? Like, how do you start? Like, I'm just going to start doing mixtapes because that was a rapper thing.
I always been rebellious, you know, and creative at the same time, you know. And the mixtape for me, the mixtape game, it just kind of started, you know, being at the time I had acquired my first record deal. We talking like 2002, and from 2002 to 2005, like it was kind of like a situation where I was just, I want to say like probably 90% of the album, of the demo of the album is what I got signed off of.
Okay.
And performed, you know, initially, and then I probably wrote, I know after the deal was done, I wrote Believe over at Night Flight. I did the actual title track record, A Love Experience at Battery Studios in New York. But a lot of the steak and potatoes of the album, like, was already recorded, you know what I'm saying, from doing the like Backwoods, you know, working with Jerry Vines, you know, Cliff Jones, Kurt and Bob at the time, which was just like took me in. It was like R&B boot camp. Like, it was like, you know, going from JV to varsity.
Okay.
You know, to college and university, you know what I mean? Kind of just like all rolled in one.
Yeah.
And you know, I think it's nothing more frustrating than being on a label or doing business with somebody, and and having an expectation of something going one way and then having to wait. We sat through as an artist and as a production company, we sat through like 2 mergers and a selling of the company.
And this is Jive?
Yeah, and at the time, and when that happens, like, it's a lot of different things that take place because in a lot of cases, they clean house. You don't know which artists are going to remain.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's real clicked up. It's real cliquish in the building. So just, like, understanding, like, for a lot of artists, they think, when you get signed, back then it was like, it's you on. That's just the beginning of it.
Right, yeah.
It's like you sign, now you got to get the project out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and now you're in a building with people of a caliber that's like, at the time you talk, R. Kelly's at the top of his game,
yep.
King of R&B, but then you have like Justin Timberlake and NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears. Like Jive if it was any label I could have been on, like when I got signed to Jive, like it was just such a big deal for me because it was the best of the best. They had Joe, they had on the hip hop side, you had everything from Too Short to E40, who got on West Coast cats always got like the crazy record. They were out the trunk.
They were funky,
with it.
man.
Yeah, they was but they were hustlers though. So they was getting the crazy deals. I mean, so you talk about everything from like KRS-One, which is like totally night and day from like Too Short to Tribe Called Quest to UGK. This is on the hip hop side. And coming out of that Jazzy Jeff camp and just kind of infiltrating Philadelphia too. Yeah. I've always had a love for like hip hop, but rap, hip hop.
You're a big Tupac fan.
Gangster rap, trap music, everything. You know what I mean? Definitely a big fan of Pac, like in his work ethic. I think that was the biggest thing. Like, I was fascinated with seeing like old videos of him coming home and like being in the studio and doing an album in like 2 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So of course, like, recording records is a different pace and a different pulse. Right. But yeah, I had nights we do 2-3 records. Like even back then, like I was always a workhorse. Like I'm,
relentless, man.
Yeah, I think it's from like my earlier, spending time at different studios. It was a studio over in Suitland I used to be at. When I was like younger, and I remember being in a studio and being in there and not being able to have access to the thing. So I always told myself, like, I disciplined myself early to like not leave records undone.
Okay.
Like, I just got probably in the last 5 years in the space of like 72 months, like around COVID, I feel like I've become a master of my craft. Like as a songwriter, producer, being in the lab, faithfully, but and understanding that this is still an instrument. I don't play an instrument, but this is an instrument. Songwriting is an instrument within itself. The voice is an instrument within itself. And just being creative. But I always, I'm going to studio when I leave here.
That's what's up.
I'll be in at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah, I mean, I can sometimes be on IG and your live come on and you in the studio.
Yeah. You're a true gym rat, man. I remember hearing stories about how relentless you was and how prolific you were at writing and just recording, and you were talking about how you really, gave yourself the mindset that you're never gonna leave a song undone. Yeah, I ain't never learned that.
Yeah, it's just it's just, man, like time is just the most valuable thing we have. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just like I think, I was just telling somebody. I mean, I think I work so hard because you just never, you know where you come from, like the humble beginnings of things, or just like. The hunger pains or having like a dream or something, you're just so focused on it, having the tunnel vision on it that I think I'm in a space now where I'm working on it's like blind faith. Like I know there's something even in the stage I'm in right now, like something like incredible is about to happen. So I'm just like, I feel like I gotta be prepared. So I'm just I've been working on last 72 months, I've been working literally on like 5 different albums simultaneously. Some of the stuff is like group things. Some of the stuff is like go, with the Crank Crusaders. A lot of it is like, I got songs for days, you know what I mean? But now it's about, figuring out at the stage of where I'm at in my career. It's like knowing what it look like, sound like, taste like, feel like all the things. And I've been really, really, really focused on the live performance aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the Raheem DeVaughn brand and like really taking that to the next level, because that right there is what is going to open doors and create relationships and new relationships. Yeah. And that's what feeds the machine of everything really else that I want to do, the ecosystem of what I'm doing. So, you know, if I can be at my A game on stage, like, you know, it's the 10,000 hours effect. Yeah. 10,000 hours in the studio, 10,000 hours on stage. You feel like
you have an advantage coming from,
man, for sure,
from DC.
Absolutely. Yeah. Being as though, you know, that's one of the things that I love about Go-Go in particular. Like, my first jump off the porch moment is Rare Essence with Miss Kim. Mm-hmm. You know, shout out to, you know, R.I.P. to Droopy, who played keys at the time. Yeah. My man Sam one of my OGs used to pick me up, used to go. And initially it was like they were taking me to, because I was supposed to be, White Boy wanted me to write records for Kim, for the band at the time. Okay. So that's where the correlation came in it. Like I probably didn't go my first Go-Go till I was like, man, about 19, 20. Yeah. You know, 19, 20, 21. Mm-hmm. You know, I was in Maryland, Bama. You know. Yeah. I'm originally from New Jersey. Like I was born in New Jersey, but I grew up in PG County. I went to High Point. Mm-hmm. You know, and I really didn't start coming into the city and really getting a knack for what was going on and just music and go-go and just like all these different things till like I said, about like 19, after I did my 3 semesters at Coppin, mm-hmm. and you know, came back to the city and started going to open mics, going to Bar None. Yeah. You know, so I would do Bar None on a Monday night. I would do Black Lily in Philly once a month. That was like a once a month thing. Yeah.
And that became like your second home.
Yeah,
like,
and then I would do Warm Wednesdays mm-hmm. in Baltimore, which was every Wednesday. So I did it so much that like people would see me in Philly and think I'm from Philly. Yeah. People in Baltimore because of my ties to Coppin State and, you know, doing events at Morgan and, you know what I mean, and kind of moving around doing the college circuit. A group I was part of that I co-founded, Urban Ave 31. Mm-hmm. You know, so the Crossroads of West Felton, who were like independent artists that were already booming. Right. And I just kind of got in swing and like learned quick. And you know, it was kind of like minds think alike instead of having that thing where like where people would like pin me and Wes against each other or you know what I'm saying. We decided like early to just be like, yo man, like let's come together and you know and put it together.
Sound familiar?
It took too long.
Go ahead, man.
Sound like right here.
Nah, for sure. Yeah. But look, man, everything happened in its time. Like you know what I'm saying. Like the crowd, the city wouldn't be able to it wouldn't have the effect that it have now.
If we got together,
yeah, had y'all not put the work in and whatever, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So, you know, everything's about, you know, for me, it's so I always been about reinventing myself, right? You know what I mean, to kind of bring it back full circle, and doing the mixtapes was just another part, was an extension of that. You know, I was watching, you know, being a big hip hop fan, I was watching what 50 Cent was doing in New York with G Unit. Mm-hmm. I was watching what Mike Jones was doing down south in terms of making himself accessible with the fans. Yeah. So I would literally take, or I wasn't gonna say stay still, but like they were influences on me, and I would take what they were doing and tweak it and say like, let me do it this way. So I had the Nextel phone where you could call or you could hit the phone, and it's just crazy. And they would leave the voicemails, and I throw it on the mixtape, and just like, you know, my first mixtape was so legendary, I think, because I shouted out the whole city. Yeah. Even on the Love Experience album at the end, I just like shouted out everybody that I kind of came across with, because I don't think I processed the fact that the world was going to hear this. Right. You know what I mean? But I knew I wanted the city, everybody that I appreciated.
Rock your block.
You know, just reciprocity, you know, gratitude and being thankful, you know.
So what was your studies at Coppin?
Man, I ain't do no studying. I just
what were you going for? What, like
chasing girls, chasing skirts, chasing skirt. Now, I mean, in a perfect world, probably would have been criminal justice. I was red shirted for SATs. I was a long distance track runner. You know what I'm saying? So I did like long distance marathons.
That's how you're able to hold them notes.
Hey, and truthfully, you know, I used to always say, like, I just say 10, 25, like, it's a marathon. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So for me, in my mind, I'm very competitive, but in my mind, it's like I envision myself on the track where my feet just never stop moving.
Yeah.
So if I gotta walk, I'm gonna walk. When I'm ready, if I need to sprint, I'm gonna sprint.
Yeah. But
You know what I mean? But keep moving though. You know what I'm saying? Like motion is motion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's you know you know when you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. The motion is the motion.
Yeah.
You know
That's a life hack though. They say even in survival, they say motion is life. You keep moving.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that you know that philosophy, you know, everything correlates. You know what I mean? Being a distance runner, having the patience, having the endurance. You know what I mean? Because it's really just all mental, man.
Yeah.
You
Well, it served you well, man. Like you're definitely one of the legends of, you know, of our town, and you put the city on for real, like big time, man. But let's talk about like your parents. Your dad was a cellist, right?
Yeah. Abdul Wadu. We coming up actually on the second 2-year anniversary of his passing, which was August 10th, and then you know, he had his janazah on the 12th. So
Okay.
yeah, coming up on that.
Yeah, man. Listen, from what I hear, great things, you know, about your dad, and your mom. She's from
my mom's side of the family originally from like Florence, South Carolina. You know the Smiths, the Gaskins family. You know, did a lot of amazing things in the city and had black owned businesses and just like all the things. My mom is 80. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, thank God she's still here. You know, definitely like losing my dad gave me a whole new appreciation for the parent that you have, you know, still and the whole thing, man. So we try to talk, you know, daily and whatnot, man. You know, she came up in law enforcement and you know, she was she worked over at Dulles for like many years, you know, escorting the president and just different, you know, officials and whatnot, you know.
So she wasn't to be played with for real, though.
Nah, not at all, man. My mother ran a tight ship, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. Yeah.
And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for that. You know, I've been working, man, since I was like 14, 15. I had, you know, I stayed in Jersey for a period of time. I got some trouble. Came back to live with my mom, and you know, I always had a job. My first job was Giant Food, Calverton, Maryland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it kept me out of trouble. You know what I mean? I before the world knew my name, I had many jobs. Giant Food, I could run them down. Long Fence, trying to sell, knocking on people's doors, trying to sell them fences, and Foot Action, Wheaton Plaza. My last job was Tower Records down at GW.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, which was great because it gave me an opportunity to see who the consumers are. How black folks buy music, how white folks buy music, just like the whole thing. Tap into different genres of music and hear different things, and you know, and then and at that point, you know, the Urban Ave 31 CDs were out, the Crossroads CDs were out, so I could double gig and like sell people music,
push your weight on the block,
push the product and all that. So so I learned a lot. You know, and it was, you know, around that time, you know, the Tower Records thing, man, I just like really stepped out on faith.
Yeah.
You know, working really heavy with Juke and Cliff, like, and knowing like their success in the game, you know, Genuine, Drew Hill, Tank, you know what I mean? Like I was always a researcher, like, and reading the credits and figure out who's doing what and who's, you know, how the wheels turn.
I feel like working with them two dudes, like you really didn't they wasn't gonna let you like just be out the box too much. Like it
ain't even that, man. Like, you know, it was never, you know, like I always been in an environment where I've been allowed to be creative and be myself and like stretch out and just like, you know what I mean? But I always been, man, I think any artist could be kind of like hard headed. Yeah. But I'm a listen though. Like even if it ain't initially, if I may have to go have a conversation with myself, humble myself, whatever. Like, you know, sometimes you have to do that. You know what I mean? And I'm a product of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like it's something to be said about somebody who's older than you, been places you ain't been, experienced the things that you're trying to experience. You know, the good, bad, the highs and lows. You know what I'm saying? Like, like it's certain codes like loyalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll never forget. We did the showcase. The deal was on the table, and I shared this with you one time, like with Jerry. But I won't say who it was, but it was a well-known producer that was, he had a lot popping. And he reached out to me and basically was like, "Hey, Job want to give you a deal, and they want to do it without your people,
cut
without
your
Cliff
people
and
out.
Jerry. And if you do it, we can do it right now. But if we don't do it, this conversation never happened."
Wow.
Yeah, like
That's crazy.
I don't move like that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Your spirit
Like,
ain't gonna let you move.
yeah,
like
you know
that.
what I mean? So like, yeah, it's just like, just loyalty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why would you? And it's been, I think throughout my career, I think, like it's many ways, right? Like I view that right there. That's a sell your soul opportunity right there.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing good. Like the karma that's gonna be on that, it ain't gonna end well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think another valuable thing that I learned, Jerry in particular, is like you never make a decision based upon a dollar, like money. Like when you making a decision based on like you need a bag or what they paying you or whatever, you gotta really like be able to see the chessboard.
Yeah, shit
You know
that come
what
with
I'm
that.
saying? That was something that like, I graduated being a little homie, big homie, all that, but like it's certain things that just stick with you and resonate with you so that when you in that position, like, you know what I mean? Because now I'm a bit, being a brand that I am, like I'm pretty much self-managed at this point, right? I got employees. There's a lot of people that depend on me.
Yeah.
So if I decide at any point it stops moving, it could be the offset of it could be catastrophic depending on
For not just you either.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's that could be a lot of pressure too.
Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also learned having the right people around you who have multiple streams of income and everything, because you don't want somebody that's just depending on you and waiting for the next show.
Yeah.
And like, well, man, if you ain't working, I ain't working. They make the type of people you need around you. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You need people that can multitask.
Now you ain't even doing it for you. You doing it
Yeah,
for them.
you know what I mean? So like, again, those are just like, it's just like tools that you just learn along the way, and just like and ending relationships and creating relationships and when you handle things the right way, you can always do business. You know what I'm saying? You can always
come back.
It's a mutual respect, you know what I'm saying, for one another, and just like all the things,
Are you a spiritual person?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm not the guy that might go to the church or the mosque every weekend, you know what I mean? But I definitely got a connection with God and higher power. I know that I'm not orchestrating this by myself, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Not alone.
Yeah, but I do believe in the power of the mind, and like just like seeing it. It's so crazy, man. I can see like everything that's happened in the last year. I saw it and just like and said it. You would think I got a crystal ball.
Yeah.
Like with the band, I told them like, yo, we gonna be on the road. We're gonna have a tour. The record probably go top 10, right. But these are things that I learned though too. I learned from being around, like being a fly on the wall, watching like my OGs with like Genuine, or like just being around like when everybody partying and bullshitting, like you sometimes the quietest person and you learn. You know what I'm saying? Just riding. Understanding like one of my previous people on my team, like they heavy in radio, so a lot of times it's like listen to the conversation, so I know how to so I've been able to acquire information over the last 15, 20 years where if I apply it, there's no way I can't lose. It's just really it's just knowing who to pay, who to hire,
Who to do without.
Yeah. Knowing when to trim the fat, knowing everybody can't go, knowing how to tell niggas no.
That's
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta say no. You gotta say no for when you need to say yes. Not when you want to say yes, but when you need to say yes. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah. So it ain't what you make. It's how much you hold on to.
Shit, say that again.
Yeah, it ain't what man. It's time. Look, man, it's been time. I had a period where you look up, burnt the bag out. You ain't stacked nothing. You going out every night.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want to give you no money in the city if you out every night.
Right.
Like just things out,
accessible.
like, you know what I'm saying? Accessible. Like they can tell you that when you're in the motion of it, when you got the motion, right? But the beautiful thing about being in this business is that the music business is the only business on the planet where you can continuously throw things to the wall, and when something stick, it stick, and you roll, you make a bust a move, or if it's back to the drawing board, it's back to the drawing board. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think one of my biggest inspirations in terms of the art of reinvention, I would say, it would have to be Snoop.
Yes.
Like if you really look at like his career and look at like
we talking 30 years
and how he's like
yeah
like a household name and like Snoop was like the Michael Jackson of hip hop, bro.
Yeah.
Like
he,
real
every
talk.
household.
Like real talk, like you know what I mean. Every genre of music, the reggae album, the gospel album, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like and still be able to be who he is, like be
his authentic self around white people.
But growing his maturity, but growing his maturity because you can't be the same person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. If you just constantly saying you're gonna stagnate, you know what I mean. So it's about elevation, you know what I mean.
SiriusVybe. Got my brother Scooby, my brother Dirk. SiriusVybe. Hey. Hey. SiriusVybe.